Hi guys, I'm Mel.
Hi, I'm Danny, and we're the Sheehan sisters.
In today's video, we're going to be talking about a controversial TikTok influencer, and I just want to give a quick trigger warning before we start. We are going to be touching on topics like sexual assault and domestic violence, so if that's not something you want to hear about, here's your chance to click out of the video. I found this creator through the podcast Do We Know Them? They introduced me to this TikToker, Molly Rutter, and she became popular by making a lot of dating TikToks. So I'm gonna show Danny some of her videos and we're gonna discuss her recent controversy. I just wanna give another shout out to the Do We Know Them podcast because they were on this topic quick, so they have a lot of deleted videos that I didn't get the chance to find. So we will be using some of their content from their podcast. All right, Danny, this first video I'm gonna show you is one of her first, I guess you can say, viral videos. I did like a long deep dive on her page and she started just posting just her regular life, travel videos, just again, like her day-to-day life kind of things like get ready with me, let me take you to lunch, let me do this. And then she started making more dating content. And here's one of her first like viral dating videos that got over 1 million views.
Let's go to this date, shall we? I'm not gonna lie. It's a 40-minute walk to where we're meeting. And I've only been walking maybe 3 minutes and I'm already sweating profusely. I brought my portable fan. I meant to pack some tissues to like dab my sweat off when I get there, but I forgot. And I'm running about 30 minutes late. So, not the best start, I have to say. Kind of struggling. But he was nice about it. Like, I did warn him in advance that I was running late. It happened because I made myself a bagel and I burned the bagel. And so then I had to make the bagel again, and that's what made me run late. And he was like, no worries, take your time. So, and then I started walking my dogs and realized that I forgot my poop bags. I just wish the street I had to walk down was more shaded. I think that's my biggest issue. It's like, you can see, like a little bit of shade and then long patches of sun. And that's when I really get sweaty. Oh, look how beautiful today looks though. There's not a cloud in the sky. My makeup has already come off. Like, this makes me sad. Oh my God. Okay, I'm just not gonna look at myself till I get like almost there. I got myself a water, I'm almost there. I brought my fan. I'm trying to dry myself off before I get there. Like, I don't have a problem with the walking, actually. The walking feels great. It's just the fact that I sweat so much on my face. Like, that's the worst part. Very dry. See that my eyebrows already coming out? Not feel cute anymore. Help. Yep. Wow, like, very solid second date, I have to say. We walked all around Delaware Park. We went and got smoothies and just talked. He had to leave at 6:30 to go meet up with friends. Him and I had a good conversation about the whole TikTok thing. He feels comfortable with the original date video that I talked about. He just feels like he doesn't want to like be on camera necessarily, which I would never do without someone's permission anyways, but and he doesn't mind if people like know his identity necessarily, but as long as it's like generally positive. And like, I told him that mostly my content is about my reaction to things. It's not like, I described to him how I didn't reveal what his job was and, you know, all these other things. So he didn't do the fire spinning this time though. We didn't have time. Maybe next time. But Bubba and Bo really like him. Like, he's just a very calm energy, a really open-minded guy. We had some good laughs during it. Him and I also are very similar in how we think, which was kind of fun. Like, because he has ADHD, and like a part of ADHD that I relate to a lot is how scattered my thoughts can be at times. I just have a really quick brain, and like, I'll be talking about something and the conversation will derail and I'll completely forget where it started, and that happens to me all the time. Or I just have a lot of sensory distractions.
So this is just a general overview of the kind of content she has become popular for, where you kind of feel like you're watching like your friend's Snapchat or Instagram story of them kind of updating you on every little play-by-play of what's happening. And she even says in the caption of this video, I barely got any content on this date because I was so in the moment. I take that as a good sign. But there are times where she's on a date, which we will see, where she's giving you updates, more updates, like in between. I guess she like kind of goes to the bathroom or goes to the side or waits till he goes to the bathroom to like film those. But this is an introduction to Molly Rutter.
Alrighty, I'm curious to see where this goes. So far, it seems pretty lighthearted, pretty standard for dating TikToks.
Right, yeah, I feel like she's kind of doing like a Carrie Bradshaw kind of thing, which is something I definitely have thought about. I don't go on nearly enough dates to even make this kind of content. I think I've gone on 2 dates in total this year.
I'm in a relationship, but I absolutely hated dating. So you know what? More power to the people making money off of their dating experience, because there are so many awful stories.
Right, nothing wrong with what she's doing, and she even says in this video she'll never show anyone without their consent, and she doesn't reveal personal information about these men. Right, this next video I'm going to show you, very similar to the one we just seen, is her setup of going on a date and her being on the date. And this video got 13 million views. This is her most viral to date.
13 million views? Damn. I don't even know how I would feel if one of our videos had 13 million views.
Right, and again, even though she says she doesn't show the men or give details, like I feel like when you start to go that viral, people can kind of... the internet has ways of finding things out, so I think you should still be careful about what you do post.
I'm excited to meet this guy. So he's from India. He goes to university in Buffalo. It's his first time in the States ever. And he's studying AI. How cool is that? So maybe he's a smarty patootie. We spoke on the phone before we met, and we had a cute conversation. He sounds really cute on the phone. He was actually the one who initiated speaking on the phone. He said he wanted to do it to get a vibe check. And so I asked him on the phone, I was like, did I pass the vibe check? And he's like, oh my God, definitely. And he's like, did I pass it? And I was like, yeah. He was adorable, like absolutely adorable. Like I want to squeeze him. He's so cute. He's definitely like shy and nervous, which is actually really endearing. This date ended terribly. I'll tell you all about it tomorrow. It was so bad in the end.
So she ends that video by saying that the date ended terribly, and she also captioned this video, we're gonna need a story time for this one.
Well, that's disappointing because it seemed like everything was going well so far.
Yeah, high spirits throughout the video. She looks super happy. She does give a follow-up, and it's a 2-parter. We're gonna watch some of the part 1, and then I'll give you guys and Danny the overview. The title of this next one is This Is How a 28-Year-Old Acted.
What do you think her sign is?
A Leo.
Okay.
What do you think her sign is?
I'm not sure. I'm getting like Capricorn, Pisces.
Okay, I can see Pisces. Okay, she was born January 14th, so she is a Capricorn.
One of my favorite bar restaurants in Buffalo. He's new to Buffalo, as I mentioned in the video. He's from India. He goes to school here. He literally just moved to Buffalo a month ago. And I was really excited for this date. Him and I relocate inside, and we sit down at a booth. And he asked me to sit next to him at the booth, which I thought was really cute. So we're sitting next to each other. We're talking really closely. He's telling me about how he really wanted to kiss me when we were outside, but he wasn't sure if that's what I wanted. And I was like, that's so funny you said that, because I was thinking about kissing you outside. We're talking super close, and I'm like, do you think it's okay if we kiss in here? And he's like, I mean, if it's okay with you. Like, and then I was like, yeah, you can kiss me. And so we kissed, and it was really sweet. And I was loving it. Mid-kiss, he grabs me. Oh, I didn't realize that we're triggering a trauma response out of me tonight. Ooh, that's fun. That's plot twist I didn't see coming. Ooh, yay, awesome. There's some good old-fashioned trauma response, Bo, on a date. It's what we love. We love that. And so I was really honest with him about how inappropriate that was, considering we were in a public space. And then he was extremely apologetic. So I'm like, oh, okay. Yeah, every girl's different. And most women have experienced some form of assault and trauma And so, yeah, maybe you shouldn't do that. And I told him that I actually find it really attractive when a man asks permission to do something. Like I said, like when you asked to kiss me, I thought that was super attractive. I loved that. I was like, lean into that. Lean on the side of caution. Ask people before you do something like that.
This is the main part of the video I wanted to show. So in this video, she also goes on to say how she introduces him to her friend, and she felt like he had been interrupting them throughout the night, and then later on she had helped a stranger find their phone by giving her phone to them, and he kind of started lecturing her on safety and not to do that. But I wanted to focus more so on this main issue of the non-consensual touching. This isn't to invalidate her story or to say that this isn't true. I 100% believe this story. I'm gonna throw it over to Danny so she can, since she's the newer eyes on this.
I'm glad we get to touch upon this on our channel. I think it's so important to have conversations about consent, especially amongst men. I think men should reflect and consider how certain actions can be uncomfortable and inappropriate despite past experiences they had with other women. Like Molly was saying, every woman is different. You should come into the situation with a clean slate and not just assume. It is unfortunate that the date took a turn. I do appreciate how apologetic he seemed to be, and she did say he seemed to be mortified when she brought up how she felt about those actions. So hopefully this is just a reflective moment for him.
Right, and I'm glad that she did speak up for herself. And like you're saying, men do need to be taught. Like she's like, okay, I gave you permission to kiss me, but I didn't give you permission to touch me, and you do need to ask for consent each step of the way. So after posting this video, she got a lot of support because obviously women and just people in general can relate to this experience. I'm gonna go through some of the top comments. No excuse, he's a grown man, he knows better. The way he was so respectful to ask to kiss you, but then did that without permission, what in the actual heck is going on? Someone said he was not mortified, he was mortified that you stopped him. Anyway, so she's getting a lot of support. People relate to this story. People are appalled at this man's actions, and they want to see her find love. And I think people started to follow her journey more, and they want to see what's going on and maybe see her growth in her dating life. But unfortunately, I think Molly let this attention get to her head. So these clips have since been deleted, and it was from a few weeks ago around Halloween time that she had posted these.
And the caption said, first of all, I'm safe. I got to take care of myself tonight and process what happened, but I'll give you a full story time tomorrow. I can't believe this is my life. Hashtag dating in your 30s. Hashtag date from hell.
So she had uploaded a video of her seemingly with a black eye and a bloody lip with blue and red lights, which people thought were police lights, and she made a caption and hashtags that it was a terrible date. So people are obviously concerned, worried. They're like, what happened? So then another deleted video is the date itself, where she, before even giving an explanation, she uploads the fun little date.
So she posted this video of her getting ready, and then the end of the video looked like she got a black eye with police lights, and then the following video was just the date itself.
Right.
Which reveals what actually happened.
Yes, this is gonna reveal what happened. But it's, again, still not a full explanation yet on her behalf.
Here's the highly anticipated recap of my date from hell.
Oh my God.
Literally.
I hate that she said this is highly anticipated. Like, this is not a movie you know that's coming out. This, you didn't upload a trailer and now this is a movie coming out. Like, people are not anticipating. They're worried, they're stressed, they think you were her.
In my life. So this man surprised me with a private tour of Fright World. You get to play all damsel in distress. and hang on to them for dear life. And just the adrenaline rush you get from being scared out of your mind the entire time. Like, I just had an absolute blast. And then my zombie boyfriend. Like the zombie attire, so we were a cute little undead couple.
So it was makeup the whole time that she claims is zombie makeup that she got done at this haunted house. And then in the last clip, you can see she purposely walks over to those red and blue flashing lights. Like, she knew exactly what she was doing.
I have no words. Well, I do have words, but I'm curious how she follows up with this, because her caption to the post prior to this, where she alludes to the black eye, is saying that she had a terrible date. So she obviously curated this story, this narrative, for people to think something serious might have happened, just to be like, just kidding, it's a haunted house.
Right, she very much clickbaited this idea, and I think she could have gone about it in a way where she didn't need to allude to domestic violence. Like, if she really wanted to, she could have got like a cute zombie look and did some kind of Halloween wordplay about that.
Right, like, oh, this date killed me or something. If you're trying to be cheeky, then make it more lighthearted. Not try to deceive your followers, especially ones that you gained from that previous story where you were violated. So that's just not fair to them.
Exactly. A lot of your followers came from support of an assault situation, so they're going to be concerned and worried that something serious happened to you. The makeup's just weird. Like, that's not a zombie look, and I'm not trying to like shade the makeup artist anyway. I feel like she specifically asked for the black eye and bloody lip.
Right. Again, we don't know what she was thinking. If she had this idea planned prior to the haunted house, or she just happened to get the idea as she was walking through the haunted house and saw the makeup artist, saw the blue and red lights, and the idea started forming in her head, and she was like, you know what, this will be a great way to keep my audience on their toes. And I don't even know. Again, I can't really speak for her. It's just all speculation as to what could be going through her mind and why she put that video out.
All right, so here is her real update to why she posted that video.
I want to make another video as an extension or a follow-up to my previous one in terms of the haunted house dating content that I posted. And so I recognize completely and take full accountability for the way my content was framed and the way my makeup was done and the way the set was and the way I wrote my caption, how all of that created this picture that I was a victim of physical violence on my date. Many of you were then genuinely concerned and scared for my well-being. And then how all of that created this picture that I was exploiting something as serious as domestic violence for clickbait. And as I mentioned in the previous video, none of that was my intention whatsoever. But I understand that in situations like this, even people with the best intentions, that doesn't matter. And impact is more important than intent. And so I take full accountability for the way that was portrayed, and I am sincerely sorry about it. I am so sorry that I had people in my community who were concerned about me, and I am so sorry for the way that that was all portrayed in a way that seemed extremely disrespectful of something as serious as domestic violence. I can see how all of this has unfolded in a way that is completely against who I want to be as a person and the type of platform I want to have online. And so again, I am sincerely sorry for the way all of that content was done in poor taste.
So I just think it's weird that she mentioned, oh, even people with the best intentions, it could be misconstrued. I don't see how there were any good intentions. She doesn't even really give an explanation behind it. She just goes, well, I can see how it may have been misconstrued, and I can see how you guys may have thought that, but that's not what I wanted to do.
You curated your post to portray a certain scenario and people called you out for it, and now you're backtracking.
I just really, again, I just still have no clue what was going through her head, how she could have ever thought that this was gonna be a lighthearted thing. Like, I don't know what she thought was gonna come from it. People rage bait, where they just like do things to purposefully piss people off. And I feel like this kind of falls in that category. I don't know, it's just like a bit disheartening because like giving her other content where you're like, okay, here's a woman, she's gonna speak up and she's gonna focus on important topics.
It was definitely in poor taste. Not sure why she has to gaslight her followers in that video saying that wasn't my intention when it clearly was. Just apologize and move forward instead of trying to gaslight people into thinking, well, you're all perceiving it incorrectly. No, I think everyone was perceiving it correctly. You got a bunch of backlash. Now you have to do damage control. And yeah, that's great. You apologize, but at least be honest and say, you know what? That was in poor taste, a terrible idea. I should have never done it. Instead of saying, oh, I can see how. It's like, yeah, you can see how because you intentionally created that narrative. You intentionally created that content. It's just unfortunate when you see content creators that are gaining a following and want to maintain that momentum and continue to go viral, that they feel the need to start creating false narratives.
I agree 100%. And I'm gonna read some of the comments from this explanation video, which really wasn't much of an explanation. The top comment is, the smirk throughout this video really sells how seriously and sincerely you're taking this whole thing. And then, like Danny was saying, this says, but tell us your intention. Because I agree with what she's saying, intention and impact are two different things, but I just don't see any other intent behind what she did. Genuine question, how did you mean for it to be portrayed?
That's all we want to know.
So that was the story I wanted to share with Danny. And when I was going back on her page to get these videos, I saw that she is now in a new recent controversy where she has decided to turn her TikTok into a political TikTok. And I just want to say that I think everyone should get political. I don't think you should ever tell someone to not get political. But it just seems that she has a track record of doing what she knows will get attention and speaking on topics when it's convenient for her. Here's another video where she does talk about the domestic violence situation again, because somebody had commented. She has been putting up like a string of videos back to back to back to back where she is now getting political. This commentator said, it's so funny how during the campaign and election, you never once decided to speak up for the women you say you care so much about. Instead, you pulled a gross prank about domestic violence.
This is a very important point you bring up, so I will address it. Yes, it is true. At Halloween time, I made content that wrongfully and disrespectfully portrayed me as being a victim of domestic violence. A lot of people don't accept my apology or my accountability that I've taken, and that's okay, that's their right. The people that I hurt and disrespected by making that video, I accept and take responsibility for that, and those people don't have to forgive me or accept my apology. The fact of the matter is, I did take accountability for what I did, and I still do, and I apologized for it, and I'll apologize again for it right now. And I will say that I'm not a perfect person. I will say that I made a mistake, and I will say that I am devoted now to doing everything I possibly can to work on myself, to educate myself, and to, like I said, use this platform for good.
I really get frustrated when people talk about the whole accountability thing, because there's so much more you have to do other than take accountability for your actions, like maybe explaining the thought process behind those actions in the first place.
But just to note, there's a difference between saying I take accountability and then actually taking accountability. Like Mel was saying, If you were open and honest about your intentions, then that would be taking accountability. But you just saying, "Oh, I apologize and I take accountability," is just words. You're just saying words.
You're just saying what people want to hear. And another thing people like to do, especially influencers, when they are under scrutiny or whatever it is that they're getting criticized for, they're getting canceled for, they love to be like, in that moment, they want to be like, oh, but we want to use our platform for this, or we want to use our platform for this, and then you never really see them follow up with it, or they maybe make 1 or 2 videos about it and then they leave it altogether. I think everyone has the right to speak on these topics when they're ready to, but I also think it's important to be well informed on the topic before you speak on it. And again, just the timing of her video is questionable.
So I would first and foremost say that pretty much my entire waking hours right now, with the exception of when I know I need to drink water and consume food and take my dogs out, I've been obsessively consuming content related to this election in the state of our country right now. I've never felt as though my TikTok shop videos and my dating updates and my day in the life vlogs, I've never in my life felt like that type of content was more trivial than I do right now. And I've also never felt more of a desire to not post that kind of content and to instead focus on the reality of the country that I'm currently living in. I've decided that I'm for sure going to start doing a Molly Gets Political series on here, where I share resources, organizations I'm getting involved with, ways I'm advocating, things I'm doing to learn and educate and gain more knowledge myself. Some plans that I have currently in my mind. The moment I get paid next week, I'm going to buy many Plan Bs. Also, next week I'm planning to go to my local library. I'm going to check out books so that I can learn more about the real history behind the United States of America. I'm going to read more books about how our government works and is run. I want to learn a lot more about economics. I also want to consume literature that's written by marginalized groups. I'm specifically thinking in my head Black women. I'm also thinking about Black women in terms of consumer items that I promote on my TikTok. And I feel pretty empowered knowing that I can control new information and knowledge, and I know that no matter what happens in the state of this country, no matter what rights are taken away from me, no one can take away my knowledge. And so I'm really trying to focus on that because that makes me feel powerful. My whole world has shifted.
Miss Molly,
where have you been the past 200 years of American history?
And also, this is the second time Trump has become president. You didn't have these feelings when he first became president?
She said in the past few days, she literally, again, is being hypocritical where she's like, no, but I always felt that way in her other video. But this video, she just said the past few days. And it's like, we knew for the past 4 years this man was running again. Like, and it's just giving, you know what it's giving?
What's it giving?
During June, when all the companies start showing like the pride flag, that's what it's giving. It's like, oh, now I'm worried about this topic. All right, guys, that was our deep dive on the TikToker Molly Rutter.
Like Mel was saying earlier, I think we all should be political. We should all be informed and educated on our government. I'll never understand people who say, oh, just stick to music, just stick to comedy, just stick to that. Don't talk about politics. We should all be educated on politics, on our government. It's unfortunate it took this latest election to ignite a spark. Let's just see where she goes with her platform and if she does continue to put the actions behind her words.
It's too bright right now, but I got a Christmas tree in the mail from TikTok shop. I think my soul needs it.
Oh, Christmas tree, oh, Christmas.
I don't know if that song's copyrighted.
Where'd you buy this Christmas tree, girl?
So let us know if there's any other creators that you think we should react to, and we want to do more videos like this talking on more serious topics, and of course there will always be lighthearted videos and comedy.
Thank you so much for watching. As always, if you have a topic you'd like us to touch upon, please leave a comment below and we appreciate your support.
Bye guys.